People ask me, they always say, how come you don't get a real job? And I say, well, this is a real job, and they don't quite get it, but that's kind of my line I say to people. And they ask me, well, where do you want to go? I say, there is no end game. And they say, well, hey, how are you going to get there? And I say, well, there's two things. You got luck and you got sacrifice. One you can control, one you can't. Colonel Parker's not walking in my life anytime soon that I'm aware of. He's not going to come in and say, hey, I'm going to take you somewhere and we're going to do great things together. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. I can't control that. All I can do is get on the phone and say, hey, will you pay me to play at your place? If they say yes, hey, that's a good day. I had been a singer my whole life, but never even give a thought to playing a guitar because no one in my family did music. No one in the history of my family has ever done music. And so for me to pop up to my parents on Christmas season, I said, you know what I really want this year? I want a guitar. And they got me this little $99 round back ovation. Just the greatest little guitar, And I ended up playing a couple chords and started playing covers and just doing things. And I went off to college, and I started meeting some really good musicians who started teaching me some stuff. At the time, I was doing opera and I was doing other things. But when I moved to San Marcos, my junior year of college, I ended up at the Cheatham Street Warehouse, which has changed my life. I met Kent Finley, who's the owner there, and I started spending, not every night, but a lot of nights in the Cheatham Street Warehouse doing opera during the day, doing musical theater during the day, doing acting during the day, doing school during the day, and then at night I go and I just sit and listen to these musicians who'd come all throughout the state and come and play in this little bitty dive bar. As fate would have it, I ended up at this little music festival south of Glen Rose called Texas Music Nation, hosted by Bodie Powell and the Borderline Band. I walked up to a merch table and met my wife.
I saw him before he did me. He always says that he saw me first, but nope, he came up to the merchandise booth and he had a look about him that was different.
Everything I wanted I wanted to be as a person, I saw in Crystal, because she looked at me and I said, I can be a good person being around her. We got married and just brought a daughter into this world, and I tell you, when Sophie came into the world, it was just me and her, and I held her in my arms, and I looked at her and I looked in her eyes, and I said, doesn't matter what happens, doesn't matter where we go, what we do. So I'm gonna love you till the stars burn out. After Sophie was born, I sat down, I talked to my wife, and I said, look, I love music. I love the feeling I get when I do it. I love the energy that comes from me when I'm doing it. I said, but I love y'all more. Like that's not even a question. I mean, it's the Grand Canyon compared to how much the two differ. And so we really seriously need to talk about me moving on from this, and really maybe just me going on and doing something else that's going to have us a better house, a better car, a better quote-unquote life.
My father was a musician, and he didn't make a lot of money, but he was happy with what he did and had a lot of passion for it, and I can't imagine him doing anything else. So it was the same thing with Kyle.
She basically just reamed into me, and she said, I didn't marry an accountant. I didn't marry a policeman. I married a musician who I love and who I see loves what he does. She goes, if you want to work during the day, if you want to provide for us a little bit better, she goes, you don't have to give me anything. We're in this together. This is not you giving me stuff. This is not me giving you stuff. This is us giving our daughter stuff. She goes, you can do whatever you want during the day, but you are not going to put down that guitar. You're not going to stop playing music, because you're not going to deprive your daughter of that. You're going to give your daughter what my dad gave me, and that's something that money can't buy. It's memories.
And I steal a kiss from your painted lips as our world spins round and round. 4 tickets for the Ferris wheel, 2 for you, 2 for me. We'll soar above all the noise.
music's a job for me. It's the greatest job ever, but it's a job for me, and I love it, and I get a passion out of it. But my home is where I find my true passion and everything that I am, musician or otherwise, because you're not one thing in life. I've been a construction worker, I've been a fertilizer salesman, I've been an actor, I've been 1,000 different things, but the thing I'm most proud of is a husband and a father. And I hope I can, continue being a musician and a husband and a father.
You fall asleep as I drive you home, so far from the twinkling lights.